larger than life. It is called Texas high school football. Only one show can bring the greatest sport from the greatest state into focus. Lone Star Gridiron.
Here today with Coach David Woodard of the West Trojans. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing well. Excited to be here. Excited to talk a little football.
All right. So we're right at the end of the school year. That means that, your spring activities are over or winding down. You've seen your kids in the weight room. You've seen your kids in athletics. You've seen them in other UAL activities. How's the spring went?
We've had a great spring. Just really excited about the attitudes our kids came back with after Christmas. We put in a lot of work in the weight room. Had a lot of young kids that had to put in a lot of work in the weight room, and they've really embraced the work and done a great job. And so we've had a great spring. Baseball team still playing in the fourth round of the playoffs this week, and boys golf team went to the regional tournament, and it's been a really successful spring for us, and really excited. Hopefully that we can build off success we've had and move in and have a really good summer as well.
Now, any small town, the school plays a major role in that town, and the town plays a major role in the school. But in a community like West, where you had such a traumatic event, kind of talk about how the school and the athletics programs there have kind of helped with healing the community.
It did a bunch. I think for that little bit of time on Friday nights, I think in Tuesday nights in the winter and during the spring, I think it got your mind off of everything. And, I think anytime that you have adversity, it brings people together. And, the whole town rallied around us, and we were excited to be able to, to be a part of that healing process. And, that first football season wasn't real great. We won one football game, and, but that it didn't seem like it really mattered at that time. It was just a time for people to get their minds off things, to enjoy watching our kids, compete and play. And eventually things got better as we went through the school year. And it's been a great turnaround. Not just for what we've done in our community, but what we've done in this athletic program as well.
All right. So now, kind of walk us through what you think your team's going to look like in the fall. Who have you graduated? Who might fill those roles? Who's back? What roles they might fill?
Well, we graduated a ton of kids, and a ton of guys that had a lot of experience. I think we graduated 16 seniors, 4 of them had started every game since they were freshmen. We graduated a bunch of guys that had started every game since they were sophomores. And so, we have 2 starters coming back offensively, and both those guys are really good players. Easton Paxton, who's inside receiver, kind of does some things really special with the ball in his hand, and David Clander, who's one of our offensive linemen, who started this year every game as a sophomore. And so those 2 guys offensively are come back. Defensively, we lose basically our entire front 7 with the exception of one linebacker. Zane Harper, he had a great year last year, 150 tackles, I think 40 some odd tackles for losses through the year. And so he had a great year. And we got 2 secondary guys coming back, Easton Paxton, who was an all-state player, had I think 8 interceptions last year, and then Gus Crane coming back at safety, who will probably also be our quarterback this year. And so we've got a lot of holes to fill. We got a lot of really good young players coming up, and I think the biggest thing about that is just that they're going to be young, and we don't have much time to grow them up. Being in a 9-team district, we have two scrimmages and 2 preseason games, and we start district, and we got to be ready to play. And so the spring we talked about how the spring was important to us this year, to make sure that we prepared ourselves as much as we could this spring, and how important the summer is going to be to prepare ourselves as well, being that we're going to have so many new faces out there on Friday night, and so many guys out there that hadn't really played on a Friday night before, to be able to be as prepared as we can be with the limited amount of non-district games that we have to get ready. But our kids are excited. We've feel like we've set a standard of success around here that we want to be right there at or eclipse again. And so the kids understand what it takes, and looking forward to getting into this summer and the fall and getting it going.
All right, now you mentioned your district. That's 7-3AD1. If you will, just kind of walk us through the district, what you expect to see from those teams on the field this fall.
I expect it to be, a good district again. I mean, Grandview's always going to be Grandview. They're going to be well coached and be talented and be fundamentally sound, and they play with a scheme that's tough on you. Whitney's, I think, a team that's kind of in the same boat that they were in last year. What we're going to be in this year. They played a lot of young kids. Man, you had a sophomore quarterback that really grew as the season went along, and the Coach Haynes' son at linebackers, the force that can seem like he can make every tackle on the field everywhere. And so, and those teams like Dallas, Madison, Maple, they're going to do nothing but get better. And so it's going to be a competitive district. It's going to be a tough one where we've got to really compete. And, we want to work hard and compete and be in the conversation for district championship again. And hopefully, if our young kids grow up and we may take the steps that we need to be, hopefully we'll be able to, be in that conversation, give ourselves a chance each and every Friday night.
All right. So you've been around coaching for a little while. What would you say the biggest challenge in general facing Texas high school athletics right now is?
Oh, I think the biggest thing that I think all of us are facing is officiating right now, and just the number of those guys that are available. And I think we see it dwindling each and every year. And I know I've seen some of the some people that haven't moved games to Thursday to make sure they can get officials or Saturdays. And I think that's something that's huge. And it's not just in football, but it's in basketball and baseball. And I know we've had wanted to make some changes with some baseball games due to weather and things, and we hadn't been able to do that because of officials. And so I think officiating is something that it's a little bit of a challenge for us right now. I know when we have kids, I try to talk all our kids that are going to college. I said, man, go join your local officiating chapter. It's an easy way to get some running around money, and it's something that you could really enjoy, and it helps keep you around the game. And so I know I encourage our kids to try to do some of those things, and we've had a few that have done it. And, I think that's something that we as coaches can really do to help our profession, is to encourage those kids that still want to be a part of the game, or maybe that are going to go into the coaching profession to be able to try officiating and learn some of those things. And I think it gets you, more equipped to be prepared in the game.
Right, very good. So let's try and go from big picture down to small picture and learn a little bit about David Woodard. What would you say your number one guilty pleasure is?
Sweets. Man, I am not very healthy and good about taking care of myself when it comes to sweets. I love cookies. I love cake. I love ice cream. Anything that gets to like that, I've got a sweet tooth, and that's the one thing that's really, really tough for me. I'm not even be hungry, but I'm gonna, if there's sweets around, I'm gonna get after them. So that's the one bad thing about me.
Now, coming from a small community like that, especially what some people might call the Kolachi capital of Texas, have a lot of parents and interested people in the community that'll just drop things like that by the field house.
Boy, they do. And I'm a sucker for a cinnamon roll. And it seems like every one of these places you go to, cinnamon rolls are about the size of, I don't know, they're huge and they're sweet and they're delicious. And I always say I'm gonna get one and I'm gonna save part of it for later, and I never do. I always finish it. So I'm a sucker for sweets when it comes right down to it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Coach. Best of luck as you wrap up the school year and head into the summer and the 23 season.
Thank you. Sure appreciate it.
And for our viewers, if you like this video, hit the like button down below. It really helps with the algorithm on YouTube and get this video in front of more eyes on YouTube. If you like what we're doing in general, hit the subscribe and notification buttons, and then you'll be notified every time we publish a new video.
Gridiron Warriors take the field in an epic battle that is larger than life. It is called Texas High School Football. Lone Show can bring the greatest sport from the greatest state into focus. Lone Star Gridiron.